Welcome to Restore 2022. Today we're having a look at 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Let me be frank with you. During my 50-odd years as a Christian, I'm not aware of any chapter in the Bible that has caused more arguments and factions than this one in the world of Western Christianity. But to me, it seems quite simple if it's kept in context. Paul is giving instructions about the conduct of the Corinthian church's corporate worship. Judging from verses 26 onwards, this was very open and freestyle. It included the exercise of several spiritual gifts, and among these, the gift of speaking in tongues seems to have been prominent. By its very nature, this gift was unintelligible, since it involved speaking in an unlearned language which may or may not have been a language of men or of angels. However, it was clearly quite different from the phenomenon on the day of Pentecost, when the languages then were plainly understood. The two main tenets of Paul's teaching are firstly, that the church must exercise love in its worship and administration of gifts because God has given them for the common good. And secondly, that worshippers should give way to one another so that all things are done decently and in order. However, it seems in the apparent prominence of the gift of tongues, these controlling factors of love and decency are being ignored. The result is confusion and perhaps cacophony. Paul doesn't object to speaking in tongues. In fact, he uses the gift more than any of them. Nor does he want them to forbid speaking in tongues. But he does expect them to use their common sense and exercise the gift wisely. And in this, Paul is scathing. Since no one has the faintest idea what's being conveyed by these tongues, it's pointless majoring on them in worship unless someone interprets them. He trots out examples, one after another, of the foolishness of wittering away unintelligibly. He himself would rather speak 5 words that can be understood than 10,000 that are a nonsense to the listeners. No, their top priority should be prophecy, the gifts to build one another up in the faith, gifts that encourage and bring consolation. He prompts them earnestly to desire to implore God for the ability to prophesy, the ability to relate all things to the light of God's nature and word. It will not only be a benefit to them developing maturity within the church, but will also convince outsiders that God is present and is to be worshipped.